Hello, Attack Power here with Game 3 between Logi and Denis in the Steel Division 2 League Division 3 Finals. Let's dive right in. Alrighty, folks, so we're here on Slutsk West, and on the left, in the red, we have Denis Diderot playing 2nd Infantry Indian Head on Maverick Income. And on the right, in the blue, we have Logi playing 352nd Infanterie, also on Maverick Income. So a very interesting matchup here. I gotta say I'm a big fan of Logi's division choices. He picks some very odd divisions. Dennis definitely sticking with the tried and true. It makes me surprised that this division once again was left open. 2nd Infantry very strong, although on this map maybe not as much. I mean, it definitely has some 2K assets without a doubt, in its howitzers specifically, and the AT, the M5 gun and things like that. You know, those can be very challenging to work through, especially the howitzers. They're just very strong. But outside of that, I mean, your RD is really strong, but other than that, there is no other 2K stuff. I mean, the Hellcat, I guess, have the 2K APCR along with the M10s, but, you know, it's not overwhelming, for sure. On the other side, 352nd does have the Ag Panther. Of course, we'd love to hopefully see that thing get out there. You know, you got your Flak 41s. You can get plenty of those. They work with Nebelwerfers as well. Solid Air Force with the BF-109 G6R4, which is the 30 mil cannon fighter plane, which means it actually is like very dangerous and can do a lot of damage. And then it's just basically cheap infantry spam from that point. I mean, in the infantry department, he's going to struggle. 2nd Indian Head much stronger in the infantry department in terms of the quality of your infantry. Although you can call in... no, I was going to say you can call in 2 to 1, but you really can't. The American infantry is just that freaking efficient. Although in B phase, he is bringing them in M2A1 half tracks, which does make them quite a bit more expensive. So yeah, it should be very interesting, especially here on Slutsk West, which, I mean, these are... Actually, I'd honestly say both of these divisions are a little bit odd for this map. 352nd makes a little more sense. Just, you know, Jagd Panthers with their big long-range gun. I mean, that definitely, you know, screams, oh yeah, 2K powerhouse, sure. But that's it. Like, there's IG-33s, but there's really not much else in the 2K department. So, you know, there's definitely a lot more Panther, IS-2 divisions that there's no way they ban them all. So it just seems odd, I guess, that these are the two divisions they decided to go with. I can certainly see Dennis just, you know, seeing 2nd Indian open and taking it just because. I mean, it is a very strong division. But on the flip side here, Logi, I'm not sure what exactly motivates you to go with 352nd. I wouldn't call it a counter to 2nd Infantry by any stretch. Trying to think what would make sense, like what the line of thought may have been here. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I'm not sure what his line of thought here was. I'm shocked that this is the division he thought was most fit for this situation is all. But yeah, it should be very interesting. See a bunch of SPW 204s coming up here north. So either going up to this flag or he's going to take a wild push over to this area would be very exciting. But here we go. We are off. Let's see where they're going quick. So yeah, he's not going anything crazy deep. He is just basically sending all of these SPWs up north here. He just doesn't want to lose this. On the flip side, Dennis is not making a push there at all. We have a whole bunch of troops going towards the center. We do see Dennis pushing for this hill here. A very possible grab, especially with the Flak 88, the only thing really going there. The Aufklär, of course, not really going to defend against anything. Logi not making any sort of really aggressive push into the town at all. Going really passively. And yeah, he's going really passively down south. Actually, Dennis pretty lightly deployed down here. No howitzers or anything. Kind of surprising. Panzer coming in. You know, there's not like, I guess there's not a ton coming in here from Logi either, though. Really strange. Really strange to see both players really going heavy here. Heavy, but not aggressive. We will see, yeah. I mean, Ranger Marauders should be able to easily beat the Aufklärs. That shouldn't be an issue. All right, infantry do get unloaded, though. Let's successfully get that done. And we're off to the races. And if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and consider supporting over on Patreon. Thanks a bunch, guys. IG-33, will it get it shot up? No, it gets retargeted. That's a big bummer. So the Marauders are there. Down goes the Aufklär. Rangers LMG as well. 88 is unloaded. In kind of an odd spot, to be sure. There's the howitzer. So the howitser's over, like, more north, I guess. IG-33 aiming at something. The basics, I assume? Yeah. Slutsk West, notorious for its pretty crappy flag placement. Oh, I guess he spotted the Ranger Marauder. Nice kill there. Yeah, really crappy flag placement for blue over here. This flag's very easy for red to grab. Excuse me, I have it flipped. Excuse me. It's really crappy for red. You know, blue doesn't have to push out very far to capture flags and stuff. It's got this one right on the edge, this right on the edge, and this right on the edge of the 50 line. So pretty impressive actually see Denis taking an early lead here. But you need to play that aggressively. You almost have to capture this hill. It's one of the most accessible flags you have. The next most accessible is basically this one here, along with this, you know, this northern one, questionably accessible. If you can like really get it, then yeah, it's very holdable. BF-109 does get forced off. There is a 40 mil Bofor here. P-47 did get its bombs off, but missed the IG-33. Now the Grenadier's going to need to move forward. The issue is you have this howitzer kind of covering off a chunk of this hill, although not all of it. By no stretch is it all the way covered. We see more troops rolling in here. The M4A1 going to be an issue. Of course, very strong at closer ranges. Not news to anybody. TAC beacon, yeah, it feels like it was just thrown down haphazardly and kind of missed. Sikrungs here, going up against the basics, would actually do okay, except the LMGs are going to get involved as well, and they're going to be pushed back. Really excited. In case you didn't know, go check out the Steam page. There is a big new DLC coming, along with a huge patch that is going to be adding traits into the game. New traits, I should say, because there are traits in the game now. Traits, you know, like Dishearten, Leader, you know, traits that actually affect the performance of the units, not just descriptor traits. Like we have, you know, like AT Tank Buster and stuff, like just to tell you, yeah, it's a Tank Buster. SPW does miss its first shot. Will it get the second one? Misses both. Wow, that's a bummer. Oh, and the M8 misses neither. That's a kick in the balls. But anyway, yeah, they're going to be adding traits in, and, you know, one such trait will be security trait, which, you know, increases the suppression recovery of troops around units such as Sikrungs because they're a security unit. So neat, very big change coming up here soon, along with things like CQC and elite troops and things like that. It's going to really mix the game up a lot, I think. I'm honestly excited and very nervous about it. It's one of those things that could completely break what is a very balanced game at this point. It could completely ruin it. 107 mortar coming in here. Another really strong thing about second and a lot of the American divisions is these radio mortars, and especially because you get 107 millimeter radio mortars, not just the usual like 81 mil, which means they do even more damage and can really smash on things. Logi trying to sneak forward to grab this flag. None of these units poking their heads out far enough just yet. Panzer B2 in a kind of an odd spot. P-47 does get through, bombs the Flak 41. Ooh, and this M8 cannot be killed. I'm frustrated for Logi. He is really getting the screwball of some of these early attacks here. 81 mm mortar going after the Bofor, actually. 107 in response. Nope, going after the IG-33. Pretty effective. P-47, though, coming in for that Sikrun, going to kill it and going to flip this flag over to Denis. Denis showing some beautiful aggression here, and he needs to. He's on the really tough side of this map. Panzer B2 did move up to find that HMG. And there is no other A phase AA. These two Flak 88s is all he's got. And this one's already under a significant amount of pressure. SPW finally actually lands a shot and bounces the M8 shot, so finally Logi gets a little bit of luck himself. 88 finishes that off nicely. Gotta be careful, though. The LMG Ranger could easily kill that at this point. 14-10 currently for Denis. 81 with mortar under fire from the 107, but the 107 a little bit off a target. It's already somewhere else going to kill the 88. Not in range of radio, but with the double 107 going out, it's going to be very dangerous. I feel like I feel like perhaps Logi should try to counter battery this a little bit. 107s are, of course, a little tougher to kill. They have 4 men instead of 3, but it's not, you know, a massive difference. SPW and M8 just out of line of sight of each other. This M3 half-track in a great spot to continue to just pressure that flag. M8 versus SPW again. Both units landing a hit right off the bat. SPW does have veterancy this time, so gets the shot off, and they trade. Not terrible. Not terrible. 25 points. The M8 also has radio, so that wasn't the worst trade ever. Ranger in the woods, pretty safe, and there's already a rifles early. Since Logi didn't really play aggressively here, this reinforcement road is completely open. Not gonna lie, I'm really surprised that Logi's extremely, I would say, passive and defensive play. They're on mirror income, so like he's gotta make progress somewhere. Dennis making nice use of smoke to cut off this advance and letting the Rangers get in. Rangers a solid CQC unit. Better than your average Sturm Pioneer or something, but not by much. Very, very minimally better. The Thompsons being stronger than an MP40, of course. BF-109 dropped bombs. I couldn't see what was there. I think he missed. BF-109 continued to float around, though. Not a good choice. 88 will not stop the bombs in time. And the bombing strike kind of oddly placed, to be totally frank. BF-109 is not going to get through here, though. That 40 mil will stop it in its tracks. He better just retreat it, lest he lose this BF-109. BF-109 very strong, but it does go down pretty easily. Bad resilience and all. Another BF-109 coming down south, though. These attack bomber ones are very effective. They're, you know, they're just fast. They're very quick in and out. Their bomb loadout is nice at a 250 kilogram bomb. Sickerings losing out at range, which they of course will. Rifles early a little too strong. BF-109 does get a little strafing run, but there's no AA to stop it. Bomb down. Doesn't actually do anything. These bombing strikes have been ineffective, to say the least. P-47 versus BF-109 straight on. Not great. Yeah, BF-109 comes off much more damage and dies to the Bofors. Yeah, that was a little unnecessarily aggressive, I think. Grenadiers in position. They could actually are in range of the half track, which is nice because they can throw their grenade. Remember, everybody, all infantry can throw AT grenades at 60 meters or less. Only at open top vehicles, though. So it's just important to remember that all half tracks are always vulnerable. Pilot injured. It's now back in action. Has taken some damage. It's not like it hasn't, but Grenadiers finally captures flag back, with Logi losing a whole lot of flags early, and that's really bad. 88 doing some nice damage to this P-47. It is smoking. I don't think it's going to kill unless this last shot gets really lucky. Oh, it did look like it got it. Wasn't enough, though. M1 versus Panzer. B2. And the machine guns of the Panzer will finish that M1 off. Nice kill there. Did not expect that. 107 continues to hit everything that doesn't move fast. They are very strong, but he lost his infantry on the hill. Ranger LMG recapture is putting back on the 1311. IG-33 somehow still hasn't spotted this infantry, even with the recon there. Pac-40 hitting up this M1 gun. Nice kill there. All the infantry, though, down here have died. Really bad. He needs more infantry in. He might be out. Yeah, he doesn't have many in A at all. He literally has 14 infantry in A. That's really low. That's low for a normal deck, especially Maverick. And that's really low for a division that all your infantry is like 20 points. Now, his B-phase infantry is insane. He's got a lot. But I really think he probably should have shifted one of those cards to A-phase. It's showing that lack of infantry here in A. Bit of a deck building error, I think. IG-33 aiming at something now. 107s continue to just pound anything. Dennis still on the 1410. Panzer taking a penetration from another M1 gun. They're all over the place, but there's just one card. So once these four are up, I think he's already lost two, I believe. And there's the IG-33 going after the basics. Are able to force that off. He should be able to capture this flag now, I would think. Well, once this Ranger dies, then yes, definitely. Howitzer getting the first shot off on the IG-33. I don't think this goes well for the IG-33. I really don't. IG-33, of course, doing a lot more damage, but he does trade successfully. Couldn't have asked for much more. P-47 does get his bomb off, but Pac-40 survives. MG-42 pinned by the 50 cal. 50 cals are just so insanely strong. So, yeah, Ranger goes down, but the problem is that there's only SPWs here, so Panzer coming in to fix that problem. Here comes the BF-109 on a strafing run on the basics. Should do some nice damage with its 30 mils. Yeah. Oh. But now flying directly into the 40 mil Bofor. Yeah, I think it's going to die. Maybe not. He's flying quite zippy. He has to be careful. He's only got 2 of these fighters. Not that, like, fighters are the end-all, be-all or anything, but he only does have 2. 107's going after a really far target. I don't think they're going to do a ton against this 88. I mean, a lucky hit or 2 will certainly do lots of damage, but he needs a lucky hit. Sickerung's getting in. We are now into B phase. Both players getting their piles of income. Logi, you know, on a pretty big deficit so far on tickets, so not great. The thing is, over the long term, though, he just has to make a little bit of progress to start capturing flags. The issue is he's really been forced out of this forward position. That's going to be a problem. He doesn't have much coming in. He decides to call in double Nebelwerfer instead. I'm not even 100% sure for what. Double Nebelwerfer is great for killing, like, really important support weapons or even tanks. But I don't think it's amazing for just... for the lulz. Flamethrower does go down in IG-33. Nice ground attack there. Double Sturm Pioneer will wipe the Rangers out. There you go. So Logi making some progress back. Panther Track will die. The Pioneer Fear may get its grenade off. May not. Probably won't. Thompson's, yeah, Thompson's strong. Sturm Pioneer, will it get by the 50? It does get by the 50 cal. Unloads outside of the woods, though. It's going to be an issue. Needs to get in. I don't think he's noticed yet. Panzer does see the 50 cal. MG42 trying to come back online here. Very suppressed. Up north, lots of smoke coming down these support weapons. We do see some infantry rifles late coming in the M2A1 half-track along with basics. Yep, they're going in. A lot of smoke. They should be quite safe. Just a note for everyone who plays on this map ever. Nebelwerfer going for the 40 mil? Nope, going for the 107. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was one of the most beautiful Nebelwerfer strike I've ever seen. Takes out both 107s, takes out M2A1 half-track, takes out a machine gun. Oh my goodness, he couldn't have asked for more. That was incredibly lucky. I mean, he was probably going to get the mortars. Fine, but the rest of it was all icing on the cake that he was not actually expecting. I can't imagine. Surprised he's not calling in more infantry. I mean, he really kind of needs them here. P-47 coming in. Yeah, he lost the 88 over here. I don't see any AA, so his support guns are in a lot of trouble. 81 Memorial gets a nice hit there. P-47 going after the Sickerungs. All right, they take some damage, not terrible. Martyr 3 supplying support. These things have a great HE shell, so they'll do pretty nice. Yeah, he needs more infantry. Like, I'm surprised not just calling in blobs of Sickerungs or Grenadiers and just overwhelming the American infantry. Does finally kill off that rifles. Really nice kill there. Panzer B2's proving to be annoying as always. For only freaking 30 points, you get a nice armored unit with a whole bunch of guns. You know, a good HE gun and stuff. I mean, it's a good unit. It's slow as heck. But for 30 points, all day. All day. And you get what? How many on a card? 6? Yeah, 6 of them with no vet. Nebelwerfer's queuing up again. Going after the M10. A little surprising. Doesn't feel like a must-kill unit. Oh, and here comes the off-map. That's right. I scoff at everyone who uses off-map. It is my eternal goal to rid this game of off-map. My campaign has been somewhat successful so far, with major nerfs to off-map. This has cost how much now? 170 points. Yes, suffer. Here comes the Nebelwerfer. I mean, the M10's open top, so maybe... Nah, not a very good strike. The problem with the Nebelwerfer singularly, it only has 6 rockets. It's not like really saturating an area. It's gonna miss a lot. Yeah, especially at this longer range. It's gonna miss a lot. It's not nearly as good. You need 2. The 2 is how to get it done. Pack 40 gets a pen on the M4A1, but the M4A1 opens up with his bazillion machine guns. Will it land the second hit? It does. M4A1 goes down. Big kill there. Here comes the Rhino, but the Howitzer now has spotting on that Pack 40. It's gonna go down really quick. Flak 88 fails to kill the basics in the transport. Bummer there for Logi. But Dennis still doing a great job of applying pressure. Here's the first long tom. He has how many of those to work with? 2. He's only got 2. On the other side, we have a C-phase card of 150s and some big off-map still potentially, but we're calling in the 105s first. These are the better 105s that are only 70 points and are a little bit stronger. They're not the horrible German ones that I can't remember the names of that are just bad. Grenadiers moving in right into the killing field here. 203, a very strong off map. Drops a lot of shells, and they do a lot of damage. I wonder what the Long Tom is going after. It is going after the 88. Not terribly surprising. Here's the 203. Let's see. Martyr 3 already going down. The support guns back here just out of range. They shouldn't die. But the infantry are going to take a buttload of damage. And I would assume he's going to drive these through. Yep, there we go. But he's not really driving through. He's actually just unloading pretty early. Kind of shocking. 88 is covering the road, though, but it's moving. It's moving. I'm surprised. Oh, he threw down some smoke. Nice use of smoke again. I was going to say, when you're playing on this map, you need to use smoke in this middle area. Otherwise, it is so easy to just cover this road from both sides. And you'll never get a reinforcement down the road. You really have to use it that way. BF-109 P-47 goes down to the BF-109. It's going to do a strafing run while it's at it. A little ballsy. Yeah, it's going to die. This was unnecessary to say the least. He knows the 40 mils here. So that feels a little, yeah, that was a little aggressive, really unnecessarily so. Going after the 107. 107 move, though. Does take a hit. Will this last rocket do the job? No, it will not. Problem is a failed strike is a big deal. That's a lot of time they're not firing and resources and supplies. 105's kind of just blind firing into stuff. Hellcat doing some damage to the Sturm Pioneers. It does have a 50 cal on it, which is plenty to hurt these infantry. IG-33 spotting out the 105, though. Will it land the first hit? It does a lot of damage, which means that is super suppressed and will not aim very well. The IG-33 will get a second hit off before getting hit itself, and that will probably do it. I don't know. It looks like it might miss. 105 way off, and now it's suppressed. So IG-33 winning this battle, and that's really important for Logi because he does not have as many IG-33s as Denis has howitzers. Not even close. Long Tom coming after the 88. He's going after the AA aggressively. There is plenty of AA in Logi's deck. Not plenty of 88s, but plenty of AA in a general sense. Logi's really got to start getting some points here. Because despite the fact he's no longer bleeding flags, he's still way down from his early not getting stuff. And again, really impressive from Denis here because his side of the map really does suck. Like, majorly blows. 105 gets the first shot off the IG-33. That's huge. Will it land that first shot? Looks like it. Oof. And now it's suppressed, which means its aiming will be even worse. But the 105 moved, which means now it's got to re-aim. And the 33 lands its first shot, wiping the howitzer out. These are massive kills. Panzer goes down to the M10 APCR. Nice kill there. Opens that up. Sturm Pioneer work kill. Another Flak 88 is here, though. Just needs to land one hit on this Hellcat and will be dead. Remember, Hellcats have very low health, and down it goes. Nice kill there. Double Stug 3 in. The only real armor out of 352nd. It does have the Jagdpanther, but that's really a very niche unit. Wouldn't call it real armor. It's not attacking armor, let's put it that way. Ooh, the other 203 coming down on all of these precious support weapons. This is going to hurt really bad. And of course, the MG42 Grenadiers coming in just at the wrong time. Isn't that always the case? Same with the Nebelwerfers over here. We see it all the time. And here's the Nebelwerfer strike. Where's it going? After the Bofors? Will it accidentally kill some infantry again? No, he was going after the M10. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of targeting that. M2A1 does go down to the 88, but that now gets wiped out. The IG-33 and the PaK-40 all dying to this off-map. Off-map. Words. But anyway, continuing on. 88 here, trying to stop the basics from getting in. SPW will do the job itself, though. Another Nebelwerfer strike coming in for the 107s again? Yep. This time it didn't move, though, and down goes the 107. Nice kill there. Killing these off is a big deal because they can be just so extremely effective. M3 half-track, moving in. There's just, I don't know why Logi is not really called in infantry down here. It's really kind of weird, honestly. But IG-33 spotting out the basics. Boom, big hit there. Grenadiers finally starting to overwhelm these rifles a little bit. And this is what I thought he'd be doing the whole game, is just kind of like dogpiling on the rabbit here. But he's instead been really just investing in 88s and things the whole time. And finally, Logi getting a 13-11, first time on the advantage here. M3 half-track's going to be an issue. I mean, it's not nearly as bad as an M2A1 half-track because it's a 30 count on a 50, but it's still an armored target he can't really kill. IG-33, no, it's just going after the Rhino, I think. SPW moving in to try to kill that half-track quickly before it gets any more damage in. Ooh, nice kill there, killing off the basics. Stug holding up the road here. Holding off those basics quite well. And now we get into C phase. And here's the thing, though. So both players on Maverick. I would say 352nd is significantly favored in C phase on Maverick. Wow, the 155 getting suppressed. A whole crap ton of 105s out right now. They're all going. It's all counter battery. I don't know if it's actual counter battery, like if he has the smart order on, but they're going after the arty. It's a good choice because, you know, Maverick games go long. JU-88, 188, excuse me, coming in, does not get its bombs off. Neither does the P-47, so nice block there. Yeah, he needs that IG-33 to stay alive. It is really kind of holding everything together down here. SPW does go down to the M1. JU-188 will get out. JU-188's not nearly as good as the JU-88, if I'm remembering correctly. JU-88 a lot faster. Sikrungs are getting in. Double starred? No. Looked like they were double. I don't know, whatever. M5 gun in though now. Targeting those Stugs. They are on the run. Need to be, because that M5 will absolutely decimate them. Although it's using APCR, so they will get away from the third shot. How strong is the AP on these things? It's still 130. It could easily kill these. 155 still alive, but the 105's chasing them. MG42 is pretty suppressed already. Technically should win this. There's only one BAR to deal with, but the suppression on this MG42 significantly decreasing its damage output. Stug 3's rolling in, but anyway, I was saying 352nd much favored in C phase because its infantry are still dirt cheap, while the American infantry are not dirt cheap. So you definitely have an issue of, you know, Logi can still call in lots of infantry while Dennis really can't. I have to imagine Logi still has a lot of infantry left, considering he hasn't called a ton in when it really comes down to it. Stug 3 is absolutely bullying these infantry from the side here. And the Logi on the 1311, the map definitely helping him out a lot. Can't deny that it's been a major factor. He's big into calling lots of Stugs in. 88 finding what? Oh, just some rifles. It's a lot of rifles. So the Pioneer's in a nice position here to stop them from getting forward. One little issue with second is that it's not flush with CQC infantry. The ones it has are very good because semi-automatic rifles make infantry much better. So you got your engineers. Your Rangers are okay. But then you have the Demolition Group in C, which is much stronger. It's got a flamethrower. It even has a bazooka. He does have that in C phase, though. He only has 8. He has them on single vet, so he doesn't have, like, a ton. But, yeah, so CQC a little lacking. On this map, not a huge deal, but it does look like he does not have the artillery on counter battery. He's, like, manually aiming them. Not a huge fan of that. Rifles do get wiped out by the Pioneers. Will the Ju-88 when he gets bombs off? It does get one of them, but it's supposed to drop 4. So, not succeeding there. Nebelwerfers did go after the M5, so that was definitely a good choice of bombing. But wasn't able to get, hasn't really been going after the 40 mils. P-47 is forced off by the piles of 88s. Logi has called in quite a few. I think almost all that he has. He lost the one at the beginning. He's called in 5 at least. 1, 2, 3, 4. He called the 5th one at the beginning. Maybe he might have called in all 6. I'm not 100% sure. Another Nebelwerfer in, though. I just noticed that. So that's the 3rd one. It is going after the 40 mil Bofors. But he only partially fired it? That's really weird. Rhino goes down to the IG-33. And Nebelwerfer forcing the rifles out of the town. Going for the off-map effect, essentially. Pins that down. The infantry pushing forward. Nebelwerfer has retargeted the 105 Howard, so that's a great target. You need that dead. But it doesn't look like, unless this last rocket literally lands, and it does not. But Logi back to a 1311. IG-33 appears to have spotted out these basics here. Oh no, it didn't. Going after the basics down here. Zoom. If it had landed that, it would kill them completely. Howitzers still going after the 155s. they're on the run. Their effectiveness has been pretty limited because of the counter battery. And that's the thing with counter battery. Yes, you want it to kill stuff. I mean, it feels great when your counter battery actually kills an artillery piece. It's like, feels like the most miraculous thing ever. At least I feel that way. But the truth is, the point is kind of just to keep them from firing. Killing them is yeah, great. But really, as long as they're not shooting at targets you care about, then technically it's doing its job, especially when you have cheaper arty, right? The 155 is like 130 points, while the 105s are 70. So basically, these two are equal to one of these, basically negating their effect. Because the 155s can be very, very effective. Sikrungs with their AT rifle can do really well against half-tracks. They just got to get in range. Rangers, unfortunately, just out of range of the Sikrungs. Still 13-11 here for Logi. That's all he needs. He just needs to whittle him down, and I do think over the long run, 352nd is advantaged. Flak versus Howitzer, though, not a great fight. Unfortunately, the ID-33 is out of range, but the Howitzer, the 88, getting a nice hit. The Howitzer missing and now gets pinned. Wow, I did not expect that. Did not expect that at all, but he decides to retreat. Is it out of ammo? That's possible. It might be out of HE ammo. But unfortunately, that allows the Howitzer now to, like, unstopped, just start blasting at this thing. It is very suppressed, but it will land a hit eventually. Nope, he does decide to fall back. Pioneer's eating up these rifles. Rangers crushing the Sikrungs, using the smoke very effectively. Dennis using great smoke usage in this game. We see the Nebelwerfers queuing up again. Where are they headed? Going after the 107, he's been very persistent in killing off this arty. I'm really surprised then he hasn't decided to send a blast of Nebelwerfer towards the back lines to kill the 155s. How much ammo do these? I can't see because they're too freaking close. They're definitely going to be running out. He probably has 2 to 3 strikes maximum left. And he does kill off the 107. That's another big kill there. Whittling down Dennis's support weapons is huge. Nebelwerfer going to completely miss here. Stug 3 misses that M3A1 half-track. Rangers get into range, and the Sikrungs are out of cover. But it looks like they are too close to use the flamethrower, and down it goes. More infantry coming in. Not many, though. Again, still feels very like... Yeah, Logi's still focusing on buying really expensive units instead of just spamming infantry, which is really odd to see. It's not the way I feel like you would usually play this division. Sturm Pioneers gonna get wiped out here. One Sturm Pioneer versus pile of infantry. Not exactly a great matchup. Flak getting all kinds of HE shells, though, back, so we'll be back in action soon. Sikrungs looks like they're about to finally try to push out here a little bit. 155s are still alive, though, and still kicking. But Logi is remembering to move his artillery after it fires. That's massive. As long as he does that, it really, the Nebelwerfers are, like, unkillable. Sturm Pioneers do unload in time, which means they will be able to get their flamer off and wipe out these rifles late. Nice kill there. Yeah, very nice kill there. And again, issue for a second and just not a ton of CQC. Stug dodges the first shot. He didn't actually dodge. The M5 missed. I mean, let's be real here. And the Stug still hasn't seen. It's going to take a pen because of that. But does get out alive. 105 still trying desperately to kill this thing off. 150 is now in. I mean, I'm surprised this 88 that have sat out in the open has not been targeted once. But Dennis's arty assets have been severely hampered. Those 107s, which can be so effective, were absolutely wiped out. Oh, another off map. Wow, that is 170 points. That is at least 2 clicks of income. He waited to use this. I mean, it will definitely clear this out. I mean, these guys are going to get absolutely smoked here, but still, that's a massive investment at this point in the game. I can't support it, and not even because I hate off-map. I'm saying I just don't think that's the right use of resources here. There's got to be something better to use them on. 170 points. 170 points you could just smash through this defense. The other thing that the arty does, the counter battery does, it just makes the artillery so inaccurate, it's essentially useless. Still a Panzer B2 hanging about. She has Sturm Pioneer in a kind of stupid spot here. What's it going to do? Exactly. 155 going after the Howitzer. Nice choice. 203 comes down, does what it does. Makes everybody sad. These Pioneers have absolutely creamed everything that tried to get close. Great position. We have unfortunately not seen any Yag Panther. Truthfully, there's no reason to use a Yag Panther here. Howitzer, I'm surprised the IG-33 is not attacking it. It does have ammo. He should see it. Is he just out of range of that? Seems really strange. Double Nebelwerfer going after, yep, the Howitzer, I assumed. Ju-188 making another strike, but the 40 mil did die. The Nebelwerfers doing their deadly work did kill off that Nebelwerfer. That's huge. So, I mean, the 40 mil, so they can finally fly planes over here. Oh, he's going after, no, he's going after the M5 gun. Nice kill there from the Ju-188. Tons of fighters moving in. P-47 bomber held off. Will the fighter be stopped? I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, 50 cal does a lot of damage, but BF-109's on the back of it. Yeah, and he does not take much to kill off that P-47. I don't think that's a great trade, because the fighter has limited use. The bomber, of course, can continue to bomb. But still, it's dead. And when this Rhino moves out and gets spotted by these Stug 3s, it should die. I mean, they're pretty close. Even with the 120 millimeters of armor at this range, the Stug 3 should pen pretty consistently. And the second off-map coming down, but going deeper into the town, these Sikhadoons are going to get by. They might catch the edge of this thing, but they're going to get through. And Logi's sitting comfortably on his 1410. Yeah, again, I think on another map, Dennis probably would have had a double tick for quite a bit of this game. But these players chose it. Stug does take out the Rhino. Rangers get caught out, and the last of these units getting wiped out here. Bomb's probably not going to hit much anything. Marauders get pinned down. Has to be careful, though. Flag falling back. There's an artillery commander here, so a leader here, so this flag won't fall. There's the 203. Again, I'm not a fan of this investment at this point in the game. Pioneer Fear goes down. Remember, your leaders will die every time there's an off-map. It's just a fact of life. One 155 is finally down. The other one under tons of pressure because it's the only one remaining. And Dennis throws in the towel. 34 minutes and 2 seconds here on Slutsk. Logi taking game 3, moving him to 2-1 in the match. See, 3,255 to 1,970 kills. A really nice play using what is technically a much, lower strength division than 2nd. I don't think 2nd Infantry is great for this map. Again, I find that to be an odd choice. I feel like there's so many other divisions. I mean, maybe every IS-2 division was banned. Okay. I don't think every German tank division could have possibly been banned as well. So I just find it shocking. I just don't think 2nd is the one on this map. I really don't. And it's a great division, but not for this map. 203s are really what did all the damage. M1 gun down south did pretty good too, but that's about it. On the other side here, IG-33 getting some kills. There's definitely there's the other IG-33 that really did the damage. MG-42, Flak 88's doing a lot of stuff. Stug 3. Nebelwerfer getting some nice kills here. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, very, very impressive game. Nice grind and good stuff. If you guys enjoyed that, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and consider supporting on Patreon. Thanks a bunch, and have a fantastic day.